Let's start off by talking about a YouTube short on the benefits of using Mockito. Now, I posted this. Let me refresh the page here so that you can see it the way it appears in the newsletter. I posted this last week, and it says top 10 benefits to using the Mockito testing framework as a short. Since I have the Tales from the Jar Side website open, you could see it here. And this was my first attempt. And I got to tell you, I don't have too many YouTube shorts, but it looked like this Canva tool made it pretty easy to produce them, and therefore I did it. Let me just play it for a moment and then I'll stop it, just to give you an idea what it looks like. Don't know if you could hear the music, but there's some pleasant music in the background. It's not a great job. The Mojito in the background is a little distracting. I had to put a colored background over the text to make it readable, and that got a little awkward. Also, I seem to have forgotten that there's margins. You know, that YouTube is going to put things over the margin. If you look at this on a phone, then this set of icons here winds up directly over the edge too. So that too is a little bit awkward. But hey, you know, for a first attempt, and what I really want to talk about is that I was able to use ChatGPT and Google's Bard, as a matter of fact, to try to produce this. Now, as I mentioned here, I used Canva. Now, I have Canva open in a separate window, but just to show you what this looks like, here's canva.com. And I'm logged in and I have an account and everything, but you can design documents or presentations or social media posts. And if I go to videos, for example, there's a whole set of themes on mobile video. I could click on the little Browse Templates button and see all these different possible video templates that are ready to go. Okay, so going back here, it said the real neat part was, and I was watching some YouTube videos on how to do this, Canva includes this tool called Bulk Create. And what that means is that you could produce like a whole set of data in a table and then paste that table into Canva, and it will generate a separate page for each row in the table. So the idea was to use your AI tool of choice, and most of the demos use ChatGPT, but I tried Bard as well, and ask it to generate a table with the values you want, and then you have to ask for a table. Now this is what I wanted to show you here. That one. Yeah, okay. So as an example, I wrote in here, give me 10 benefits of using Mockito, the Java testing framework that can generate mock stubs and spies for your dependencies, set their expectations, and verify that methods in the dependencies were called the right number of times with the right arguments in the right order. Put the reasons in a table where the columns are number and benefit. Now, over in the newsletter, I showed that question. And then here's what the reply looked like. And to my surprise, when it showed me the table, it actually introduced titles for each of the entries in the table and rendered them in bold. So I followed up by saying, you know, please reformat that table, extracting the benefit name, which you rendered in bold, into a separate column, but with the same information. And here's the resulting table with the column added called benefit name. So I've got number, benefit name, and description all the way through. Now, I did make a comment that I don't know why I keep saying please to AI tools. I mean, mostly habit, or as I say, maybe I'm more concerned about getting on their good side before the great robot uprising than I'm willing to admit. Okay, so then the key is to go back to Canva, and once you have a design in process, you can click on their Bulk Create tool, and you get a little window that looks like this. So you could enter the data manually or upload a CSV file. Now, what I did is that, frankly, I just highlighted and copied, you know, as many as I could, basically copied the whole table here, and went into the tool, and when it showed me this little mini spreadsheet, after I hit enter the data manually, I just click on the first element and paste in, and everything wound up inside the table, much as you see it here. So when I clicked on done, then it gives me a little window that actually there's a step similar to this before this that says, okay, let's look at the data, and it's showing me all the data imported here. You don't really need to be able to see the details. It just shows up. Then once you're making a design, you right click on each text field that you want to assign to the data. And when you right click, there's a little entry that says, match up with the column name, basically. I mean, I think I have it here. So there's the example. Here's one where I was already working on it. This was the same set of data, very similar, that's going to go to some kind of LinkedIn carousel. And when I right click here, actually, I think I've already selected it. So let me go back a step to here's benefit name. And when I right click, it says connect data, and there's benefit name or number or description, right like this. And then you hit continue, and it makes it to that third step, which I guess I have to click on to get to see it. And then I can click generate 10 pages, and it'll create them all one by one. And you can see I added some myself, and I put in some animations and all this stuff. And it was easy, remarkably easy. So that's how I made the new one, which is better, still not great. Here, I'll show you that one. Let me turn off the sound. Well, actually, you get the idea that I'm better able to handle the margins and making it a little bit more formatted. And I'm using the gradient background, and the mojito in the corner isn't quite as obtrusive, and all of that. I have to tell you, my son, who is my official or unofficial social media consultant, was kind of appalled. Now, he liked the idea and he liked what I did with it, but he was like, you never try to stuff all 10 of a top 10 list into a minute-long video. That's just not going to work. And that is, in fact, the big problem with this, is that the text scrolls by too fast for people to read. He was like, make it 5, and then that will slow everything down enough that people will be able to read it. And he says most people watch videos at double speed anyway. And I'm like, all right. So, okay, I'm still learning, as we say. So I still had to go tweak all the individual elements. And this is another lesson I'm learning. And so I've got to figure out how I can update the individual, the template page before I generate all the pages, because then it's a pain to update all the individual pages. But I'm getting better at it. I'm getting quicker at it. And I hope to take advantage of this in the future. And there's a little link in there in case you want to see the YouTube video. So I mentioned the only problem is there isn't enough time to read each reason, because I had to pack 10 reasons, 11 counting the bonus, into 60 seconds, and that's only about 5.5, 6 seconds each. So next time I'll put in 5. Of course, the real question is if you look at these benefits, are they in fact realistic? Are they benefits that make sense? And, now that I've looked through them a few times, I'll say, yeah, I mean, pretty much. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Again, it's kind of salesy for my taste, but I'm not great at salesy stuff. Might as well have an AI tool generate all that for me. So, at any rate, that was I spent a lot of time on that sort of stuff this week, and I wanted to mention about it. If you're interested, there are dozens or maybe even hundreds, maybe thousands of YouTube videos that show you all the steps and how to do this. You just look for, search for Canva and bulk create and YouTube short or LinkedIn or whatever, Facebook, and you'll just be overwhelmed with the number of them. I did point out a couple of channels that I thought kind of highly of, not in this section here, but at any rate, I'll get to that. If not, if I don't see it here, I'll show it to you later. Yeah, okay.